Here are the mentalities of the African man that I fear the most. I fear the ideology of the African man thinking that he is above his woman, meaning the woman that he is with can never come before him, because this is how he is wired. The African man is innately wired to place himself above his wife or his girlfriend or the woman that he's dealing with. He is innately wired to think he is better than that woman on every level. It doesn't matter if you have your doctorate. It doesn't matter if that woman is making more than him. It doesn't matter what is her social status. She can never come above him. He is the man. The man in every aspect. Like, you can make your millions, but in my household, if you are with me, I am the leader. That's complex. Inferiority complex is something I cannot deal with. I believe in equality. I believe when two people are together, they should be on the same wavelength, meaning they are both equal, because you have chosen each other. So I would like to say you should both make equal decision. But the African man, in his mental state, he doesn't even have to consult his wife when they come to decision making. No, he shall make each and every decision in that household without consulting his wife or consulting the woman he is with. There isn't an if or but. He is the man. Oh, I am the leader. No one comes before him. He makes the decision. Absolute power. That's something I cannot deal with. That mentality I cannot work with. And I fear any man who thinks they're above their woman. And African men is a trait they have. I'm telling you, most of them, they have that trait embedded in their DNA, in their genetic makeup. I'm not talking about their genome, no phenotype. No, genome actually. I'm talking about their genome, their genetic makeup. They're wired to think like that. He comes first. The African man is selfish to a point of no return, and I fear that. I am fearful of a selfish man. I think being selfish should be a trait of woman, maybe, but not man. Maybe I'm biased. I believe if a woman is selfish, I can understand. But a man being selfish is like, nah. I think a woman's supposed to be selfish so she cannot be with multiple men. I don't know. But I'm just saying, a man, the African man, is so selfish to a point where when he cheats on you, he expects you to stay there and not go anywhere. Oh, I cheated on you, so what? He's not even apologetic. It's like, it is expected of me to be with multiple women. That's what makes me the African man. Oh, the Shaka Zulu of the Zongo. Okay, I get it. You are the Shaka Zulu, fine. But you need, like, hey, I cannot deal with that Shaka. Stay away from me, Shaka. I cannot deal with that. No. Do you understand? And I'm fearful of any man who thinks like that. Super selfish, putting themselves first, And I'm just fearful. If you want to form a union with someone, I believe you should be selfless as a man. It should be a characteristic that men should, carry, right? Selfless, you want to give. You know how you give in the bedroom? Maybe you should give like that too, outside of the bedroom. The African man is selfish, okay? The African man always wants his cake and eat it, and he doesn't expect anyone to question him. Why would you question me? And the African man doesn't mind taking money from his woman. Do you understand? If he's not working, he expects his woman to take care of everything. He will take from his woman and spend it on other women. Only the African man can do that. And he doesn't expect his woman to get angry. But he expects that woman absolute loyalty. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. I cannot do it. You expect absolute loyalty from a woman you're not loyal to? I am fearful of you, buddy, because I don't know the planet you live in. I cannot survive that. And that's why I stay away from your behind. I'm like, no, your mentality and I cannot align. You are not loyal. You expect me to be loyal? No. It's going to be survival of the fittest. I might outdo you. I'm all about competition. Meaning in my mind, I'm so competitive to a point where, there isn't a gray area in my life like that. Do you understand, African man? Yeah. What you do, I can do better than you. Holla. Wink. So therefore, that's how come I am fearful of you. Because I'm like, sorry, sir, I can't do it. Cause? No. My cousin, my brothers, cause. I cannot do it. No. That is something I won't be able to survive. No, no, no. Okay? The African man, I'm fearful of his mentality, whereby he is shameless in many ways. The African man will not eat far from where he poops. I'm sorry, I'm being vulgar. If he's going to cheat, he might even do it within the family. You think I'm not fearful of that move? It scares me. He will bang the closest family member you have. Only the African man. He expects you to stay within that marriage. Only the African man can do it. And that I am fearful of. I cannot survive it. He expects to sleep with all your best friends and still expect loyalty. My dear, the ego of the African man is unbelievable. Where is that coming from? Because, you are coming from a lineage of kings? In that case, I come from a lineage of queens. How about that? If your father was a king, mine was a king too. Oh, my grandma was a queen. Sorry. I cannot do it. The African man expects the African woman to cater to him no matter what. And serve him no matter what. I'm like, nah, I will not be doing that. He expects you to fix his bed so he can bring another woman and sleep in that room while you are in the other room. Ooh, buddy. Your ego, I question. I want some of your ego. African brothers, I cannot survive you. Yeah, he expects absolute loyalty with this behavior that I'm mentioning. These are realities, I'm telling you guys. The behavior of the African man or the mentality of the African man is skewed. It's unfair. But the same African man that is behaving this way, he knows when not to behave like that. And that depends on the woman he is with. And that woman have to be non-African. He shall discard all his behavior. If he is polygamous, he is not going to become polygamous. Look at most African presidents that are married to women other than a non-African woman. Do you think they are practicing polygamy? Even though within their countries, polygamy is practiced, they dare not practice polygamy. Yeah, they can conform to the culture of any other woman, but not the African woman. They rather give the best to any other woman, but not the African woman. I ask you, who are you? What are you working with? If you can change this much, why can't you change for your sisters? That's my question. I don't think I'll be needing you though. You understand what I mean? You understand, man? The only time I have to deal with your kind is if we have the same mentality. Open-minded. Yeah, you have to be open-minded if I have to deal with you, my dear. Ooh, my brothers. From another mother? Yeah. If not, I am fearful of you. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know who does that. The African woman is accepting all this bullshit from the African man. A mentality. The African men have convinced the African woman that she should accept less than crumbs. She doesn't deserve any better. She's supposed to struggle when she's with him. But when he goes outside of his boundaries or his race, he gives his best. The African man is the only man, when he makes it, he looks outside of an African woman to show a symbol of success. Self-hater? I don't know what that is about. I'm not envious of you, by the way. I wouldn't be needing you. I wouldn't want you. I'm sorry. I'm not with your behavior. The African man is the only man when he is successful. He wants every other woman but the African woman. But when his ass is struggling, do you know the woman he runs to or he stick to is the African woman. I am fearful of your thought process, your mentality, my African brothers. We cannot walk out together. Not me. Not me. Not me. Unless you think like me. Because there's one thing I tell my African sisters, don't accept less from these African brothers. If they don't give you their best asset, don't accept less from them. Don't. You know, countless amount of time, even in the US, the African American in this US, when they are struggling, there's something called a starter wife, meaning the struggle wife. When they make it, do you know what they do? They dump those women and go after any other woman out there and give all their resources to them, but they won't give it to the African woman. The mentality of the African man is not limited to Africa. In America, the African American behave just like some of those African brothers of ours, because after all, we are all family. African American, whatever, African, you know, Africa is vast. So during those colonial time, our brothers and sisters, you know, went all over the world, and we know the history. So we are all the same, except for they didn't grow up in Africa, but we are all the same. So those men still behave like our African brothers in Africa. There isn't a difference. The only time the African man is with the African woman is when he's struggling, even in the US. My dear, the African men in this country, the millionaire and the billionaire, their wives don't look like me. Apparently, the African woman is hard to deal with. Only when the African men have made it. But when he's struggling, he doesn't see that. I am fearful of my African brothers. Very fearful because of their thought process. I'm not fearful because I believe, you know, I'm just fearful of their thought process. There's certain thought process that I just stay away from, and the one I mentioned, I just feel there's a lot. Again, uncommon theories, uncommon answer. My name is Rose. I shall always remain the Rose that you know. Thank you.